Welcome to the MSP Corner podcast. Before we kick off our show, we would like to share what our main objective is at the MSP Corner. Our main goal is to help CEOs build profitable and self-sustainable IT service firms. We are not just providing tools for IT firms, we will be sitting in meetings with you to ensure your IT firm stays on track. The first area we are focused on, strategic sales. IT firms are stuck selling technology or IT support. We will provide you with the blueprint so you position your firm as an added value to your prospects. We will have framework on how to sell value so you influence the prospect into selecting your firm. The second area we see many IT firms struggle in is marketing. 90+% of businesses rely on antiquated marketing methods. The most popular choice, word of mouth. We have proven methods on how to attract the ideal prospect. Our framework will include how to become the online authority and be the business influencer for an industry. The third component to our package, scaling. IT firms walk away from opportunities because they lack the bandwidth or skill set to scale. We have lined up reputable businesses so our members can hire on-demand resources that will allow them to scale their business. The fourth area we will offer help in, selecting the right tools. In order to deliver value, you need the right tech stack. Our platform will offer information on products that are the ideal choice for MSPs. The fifth area we will offer help in is with documentation. Templates are a critical component when building an MSP. We will have contracts, proposals, SOWs, collateral, and much more in the template section. You will have every document you need to start up your managed IT service business. Thank you for tuning in. Let's go to our next podcast. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to our podcast. I am your host, Fernando Leon, and I am joined by my co-host, Gregory Morabiec. And today's topic, we're going to discuss how an independent IT administrator can build an MSP side hustle while fully employed, right? Because it takes a lot of energy to build a business. It takes money. It takes a commitment. So, but I digress. Let's quickly go over the table of contents because we're going to be discussing several topics today. So first, building an MSP side hustle. What's it going to take, right? 3 critical partners if you want to grow. So we're going to get Gregory's feedback on these 3 critical positions in a firm. Finding your niche and defining your wheelhouse. Do you need a business plan? Do you need to incorporate? Are you going to invest in a tech stack? Obviously, if you don't have a website, you better at least start planning something. Selling. What do you sell? Right, we'll touch on that. Marketing and how it's just a huge requirement if you plan on building a sustainable IT business. How will you attract early on? How will you scale? And then we'll conclude with a message about just overall the discussion and what your other options are for how you can build an MSP side hustle while staying employed. All right, let's kick this show off and first touch on building a managed service provider side hustle requires a blend of technical services, obviously, right? You got to be technical savvy, but you got to be business savvy. And you got to be able to plan strategically. And for IT professionals looking to leverage their skills into a profitable venture along having a full-time job, establishing an MSP can be an attractive option because who doesn't want to be a business owner, right? It's nice being a business owner. You get to call the shots. You're telling people what to do. But this type of venture involves offering managed IT services such as network management, cybersecurity, data backup, and recovery to businesses on a subscription basis. Now, if you know how to build low maintenance environments, you will thrive in this business. Now, if you decide to offer the break fix model, you might get too many calls while you're at work. So I would highly recommend sticking to the MSP model, the low maintenance model, the proactive model. And we're going to discuss some key steps and considerations in building a successful MSP side hustle. So what's that first topic is the partners, right? 3 critical partners if you want to grow. And I doubt there is a way around this requirement, but we'll circle back to Gregory because he would know best. He started Single Point of Contact as a side hustle over 2 decades ago. Now, do you need 2 other partners besides, the CEO, who's usually the most technical one, who's the one that's going to be resolving problems, consulting businesses, and implementing new technology. But do you really need 2 other partners to build a scalable business? So, Greg, it goes without saying the technical expert is a requirement. By no means. I mean, I'm going to assume that you need a sales rep and someone who can handle the finances. I can't see one person managing 3 roles. Did you do all 3 when you first started? And
I
what's a
did.
downside to managing 3 roles?
I did all the roles. I mean, the billing was pretty easy when you start out. You just have one or two customers. I mean, so financially, it's not a big deal to have QuickBooks and and just take a rudimentary course in finance and be able to understand how that works. So that wasn't so hard.
What
Um, Being
what
the
about this?
technician is not hard either. I mean, that's what you do. That's why you're in the industry. But being the salesperson is a big challenge.
Yes. Selling can be challenging because a lot of you guys, not you, because you're not an introvert. You've got a great personality, but a lot of these guys tend to be a bit shy, a bit, like I said, introverts, which is nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's just if you plan on building a business, you can't be that introverted, right? You got to put
Right.
yourself out there. You got to get out of your comfort zone. A lot of you guys love to be behind the computer because there's no human interaction. You're just typing away, right? Am I wrong or
No, you're totally right.
so that's one thing these guys need to consider is are you ready to put yourself out there? A lot of these guys can't handle rejection. A lot of these guys are going to have a difficult time speaking with CEOs and CFOs. So you have to understand the what you're going to be exposed to. So maybe just 2 roles, because just like you said, you could do the finances probably early on as you grow, and which would be nice. And that is nice that you could do both roles in the beginning. So, but the sales, yeah, sales is not easy. It's not easy for a lot of people. So the next topic is finding your niche and your wheelhouse. So let's, defining that, right? I mean, the first step in building an MSP side hustle is identifying your niche because the MSP market is highly competitive. And with so many players offering a wide range of services, success often depends on finding a niche where you can leverage your unique skills and knowledge. Now, this could be a specific industry um, type like healthcare or retail, or a particular type of service, such as cybersecurity or cloud-based services. Or maybe you could just focus on small and mid-sized businesses that often lack in-house IT resources. But winning new business will be your toughest challenge alongside marketing. But we'll touch a little bit more on that later on in this podcast. But figure out what your niche is and your wheelhouse. That'll help you um, determine which direction you're going to take on this journey of entrepreneurship. So next topic is the business plan, right? So developing a business plan is crucial for any side hustle. For an MSP, this plan should outline your service offerings, pricing strategy, target market, competition, marketing, sales strategies, and financial projections. Because your business plan will serve as a roadmap for your side hustle, keep you on track, and it could be critical for securing financing or potential partnerships. So keep in mind, is the business plan absolutely necessary? Did you write one out, Greg, when you first started?
No, but I have
Yeah.
written a couple of them out since then.
Okay. But it is good to have some type of business plan in place so you stay on track. And I highly recommend that everybody write a business plan. So you're going to set some goals, and part of that is going to be in your business plan. So
When I wanted a loan from the SBA, when I
yeah.
first started out Small Business Association, then they required that I write a business plan.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. So let's quickly touch on incorporation because setting up the legal and financial foundations of your MSP is essential. And this is going to involve choosing a business structure such as a sole proprietorship, LLC, or corporation. Registering your business and obtaining necessary licenses and insurance. And obviously, you're going to have to set up a business account or a business bank account. So you need to consider consulting with legal and financial advisors to ensure compliance with regulations. And so you implement best practices for accounting and tax planning. So if you do incorporate, this also allows you to W-2 yourself, which will open that door to creating a 401k because you're going to eventually retire. You need to uh, get in that mindset of investing for long term, right? Because yeah, you can open up a Roth IRA and you can deposit what $6,500 a year for the next 20 years, but is that going to be build up a big enough nest egg for you and your family in 20, 30, 40 years? Who knows? But a 401k, that allows you to contribute a certain amount, a certain percentage from your check, but it also allows the business to deposit a certain amount every year into that. They can either match it or they can give you a sole chunk of bonus at the end of the year. But that's a conversation for your CPA, and it all depends on your state. So get
Well, I'll say
educated.
this. I'll tell you
Yeah,
this. First of
yeah,
all, there are states where if you incorporate, it doesn't really mean anything. It means nothing. What you really are looking for is that you want to incorporate so that if anything does go wrong, your assets are not you are not directly responsible for anything that goes wrong after the company assets have been destroyed. So for instance you were had a corporation and the corporation owned your car and you drove your car into a house and you killed everyone inside with your car, and the family of the people you killed decided to sue you. It's your corporation they would go after, and then they could sue your corporation, and once the corporation ran out of money, all the insurance was gone. In a state like California, they can then just say, okay, you're the corporation, and it's called piercing the corporate veil. and they could just go and take all your stuff. But if you like incorporate in Wyoming, you can't. The rule is you can't go after the original person. So there are a lot of upsides to incorporating, but you really should never incorporate in certain states that would allow for your assets to be stolen.
That's a great point. I've been I've relied on my CPA for this type of advice. But yes, I agree with you. You do need to create that layer to protect your assets. And if you're getting close to retirement, yeah, well, if at any age, I think you need to incorporate because you do need to protect that you need that layer of protection for
At
your
least have an
assets.
LLC. Any of the worst scenario, have an LLC.
Yeah. All right. Great input. Thank you. All right. Investing in a tech stack, right? Investing in the right tech stack is critical for delivering that proactive MSP service, which obviously is going to include RMM, right? Remote monitoring and management software. A PSA tool, which stands for Professional Services Automation, backup, cybersecurity tools, and obviously documentation. They all need to be in place in order for you to deliver that managed service model. While, now keep this in mind, there are going to be some upfront costs, and they can be significant. And the right technology stack will enable you to offer high quality services and allow you to scale your operation and maintain a competitive edge. But you do have a secondary option because a lot of these firms that sell you the RMM tools, the documentation, the backup, the security tools, they all have minimum requirements. They all have you sign contracts that state you need to have a 1 year commitment. And if you buy 100 licenses and you don't use half of them, you're still going to get billed for those 100 licenses. You can't just return them. It's not Macy's or Bloomingdale's or Nordstrom's. You can't return them. You bought them for the year. So keep that in mind. Or you can take the white label path, which is less expensive, and they allow you to scale on demand. And if you have to scale back, they work with you. So you're not paying for something you're not using. So consider the white label partnership. This will be a huge, this will give you a huge advantage if you're a sole proprietor because white label MSPs, white label help desk, white label SOC services will give you that competitive edge if you're a one-man show. And when you're a one-man show, you have limited resources, you have limited budgets, and you may come across an opportunity that is going to extend you. It's just going to be beyond your bandwidth, right? You can't stay awake 24/7. So you might come across an opportunity that says, hey, we need a 24/7 help desk. This is where a great white label partnership will be a good fit for organizations such as someone who is starting an MSP side hustle. So let's take a quick 5-second break here for a sponsor announcement. All right, and we're back. Now, building a strong brand, well, the next topic is the website. I mean, how can you build a business without a website? At our MSP, we have businesses contact us daily. And before I schedule a call with them, I research their organization. And a lot of times, I'll say 20% of the time, they don't have a website. So keep that in mind. Building a strong brand and online presence is critical for attracting new clients. I mean, this includes developing a professional website, creating engaging content that solves problems for your audience, utilizing social media to showcase your expertise and services. Your brand should reflect your unique value proposition and the benefits of choosing your MSP over your competitors. So this topic, we're going to create its own show because there's just so much to talk about when it comes to the website. And we'll have an in-depth conversation on what best practices you need to implement. All right, can you sell? Right? Effective sales strategies are essential for generating new business. Developing a sales process that effectively converts leads into customers is crucial. You need to have what we call the sales process. And what I've created, and what I'll be sharing on the MSP Corner, is first, there's the qualification. You guys have to understand the sales uh, process that will come across your desk. First, you're going to have to qualify an opportunity, right? They're going to say, "Hey, can you provide me with IT services?" All right, you guys may say, "Hey, I only want to service organizations that have 5 employees or 5 to 50 employees." So one of your questions on the phone is going to be, "Okay, Tom, how big is your company?" Well, we have 10 employees. Great. First box checked off. Where are you located? Oh, you're in my city. Great. You're 10 minutes away. Awesome. Another
Yes.
box checked off. Right. So you go on asking them, what are your problems? Who are you in the organization? Are you the decision maker? Great. You're going to have a 2-minute conversation because it's going to prepare you for the next series of questions you're going to be asking them. So that first qualifying is part of the sales process. And we'll go over that on another call because the selling value topic will also have its own webinar. But the main goal for IT firms is to learn how to sell value, not technology or IT support or tech services or computer support. We're selling value, guys. This is the MSP model is a different model to IT support. All right. Next topic is marketing and why it's a must. Effective marketing is essential for growing your MSP side hustle. You may not have the budget in the beginning. So I'm going to tell all of you, save up. You got to create a small war chest to build or to implement a marketing strategy. So this is what does this involve? Well, it can involve a several marketing tactics like search engine optimization, which SEO, pay per click, PPC, and then you can have something like email marketing. But you're also going to probably start off with networking and partnerships with other businesses, right? You want to partner with, say, a mover or some type of maybe a VAR, right? VARs are just selling hardware. They're not into delivering managed services. So, but I want to emphasize SEO because that is the long game. Because it's not only inexpensive, it will produce the most quality leads for your IT service firm. So take my MSP, for example. Our SEO produces 20 to 40 meetings a month. 75% are ideal and will close 50 to 60% of those leads. Not because I'm good, not because I influence the buyer or I'm so persuasive. It has everything to do with our messaging on our site and solving their problem. Yes, they're going to interview my competitors, but a lot of this comes down to probably the reason they go with us is because of the flexibility they're looking for, the type of services they're looking for. So I know these numbers are exceptionally high, but this is due to the content we produce. But again, we're gonna provide a lot of that on its own podcast and its own webinar because marketing, if you could win the game in marketing, you're going to be the leader in your area. because 99% of your competition is not doing anything to market themselves. And they're probably, and the ones that are not doing that great of a job. All right. Next topic is how will you attract early on? Because yeah, you guys are working full-time job. It's not like you're out there knocking on doors for new business. So landing your first client will be a tough challenge because there are several factors that go into a client handing you the keys to their kingdom. So client requirements, and correct me if I'm wrong, Greg, for the most part, if they like you and they're going to request references. You're just starting out. They could potentially be your first client. So how are you going to provide them a reference? Keep that in mind. Just keep that on the back of your head. Put a pin in it. Clients are going to require that they trust you. Do they find you credible? And are you a fit for their firm or industry? So my suggestion, if you're just starting out, is you need to start selling to people that believe in you. So you need to ask yourself, who trusts you? Who finds you credible? Who believes you are reliable? And who believes in your skill set, right? So that could be family, former colleagues, friends. So make a list of people you know that could potentially be a prospective client. All right. How will you scale? Because, hey, you might be the most popular guy in your town and you've got a great personality, you have great, you're just a um, you have, you have people that believe in you, right? There might be a CEO that you're friends with might start a new company and he's going to, make a request that won't, the skill set might not be in your wheelhouse. So, but how are you going to scale is asking like, it's like saying, don't put the cart before the horse, because as a sole proprietor, you can handle a few accounts on your own. However, you need to be prepared in the event you have an opportunity that is beyond your skill set, or you don't have the bandwidth to deliver a 24/7 help desk. You need to have the right partners in place so you don't leave money on the table. And this is where a white label IT service partner comes into play. Have one in your back pocket. Be ready. You never know when you're going to need one. All right, so we're going to conclude with, building an MSP side hustle is going to be challenging but rewarding. That offers IT professionals the opportunity to leverage their skills into a profitable business. It requires careful planning, investment, obviously investment in technology, effective marketing, and a huge commitment to service excellence. But following these steps and continually adapting to the evolving IT landscape, you can build a successful MSP side hustle that grows alongside your full-time career. So, one thing that we didn't mention when you're building an MSP side hustle, and this is going to be a whole separate show, is you need to have critical documentation in place. What documentation is that? Well, professional contracts that protects your IT firm, right? Because the MSP model, guys, hourly rates do not exist. Everything is done at a fixed cost. So that contract needs to protect you. Yes, I'm going to deliver unlimited support to your 10-person office, but that doesn't mean projects are included. It doesn't mean on-site support is included. This is all remote support. This is proactive monitoring and management and support of those 10 devices, right? So keep that in mind. Professional proposals, SOW, statements of work, and collateral. Believe it or not, people still ask for collateral. And it's a great way to hand them a single page document that gives them a comprehensive overview on what you have to offer their business. So keep all of that information handy because you will need it. Greg, did I miss anything? Because that's the end of our show, and I want to make sure you didn't have anything else you want to add.
No, you did great. That's
Awesome.
you hit all the nails on the head.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. And don't forget to sign up to be a member on the MSP Corner. Please share our link with a CEO or a business owner who's going to find our information beneficial to their business. Have a great night. Thank you for listening. And don't forget to sign up to be a member on www.mspcorner.com. Please share our link with a CEO who will find our information beneficial to their business. Have an awesome day.